Alright, alhamdulillah. Okay, so I welcome new members, I welcome returning new members, I welcome everyone. I remain Basiro Roji, popularly known as the Regime. So today is day 6 of our No Yell challenge. Alhamdulillah, the feedback has been great. Alhamdulillah. And what's more important is after the challenge, you should not go back to the past. Let it stay in the past, inshallah. All right. So, yeah, today, what do we have here? What are we looking at? Here, it says give options, give children options, and don't get into the powerless zone. Do you know the powerless zone? That point where you are trying to get your child to do something, and for some reasons they are not answering you, they are not cooperating, and you feel powerless. Do you know that feeling where you are trying to um, get your child to do something, or to to take up, you might just instruct them to do something and they are not doing it. So Musa'ad wa alaikum salam, welcome. Dr. Abdullah, barakallahu fi. Well done. Anytime I see this your name, I used to feel mashallah. Welcome, Sister Asma. All right, so I was saying, did you know the powerless zone? Did you understand that feeling when you get to that zone? That point where you are telling your children to do something or whatever it might be, and they are not just cooperating. Did you know that zone? Oftentimes, when we find ourselves there, it causes us to yell. That time where you feel like, am I not talking to you? Then you try to enter into the power struggle where you are trying to let your child understand that, oh, I'm the authority here and you have to listen to what I say. So you do it at all costs, regardless of whether it is to spank, whether it is to yell, whether it is to do whatever it is to get the child to listen to you at that moment. Did you understand that feeling? Did you get the gist of that feeling? Yeah, you don't want to find yourself in this zone. Once you get to this zone, oftentimes you might find it very difficult to control your anger, to control your emotions, and you are most likely to end up yelling, spanking, arguing, struggling, like trying to let them know I'm talking and you should listen to me. I'm your mother, stuff like that. Did you get the gist? I'm not getting any feedback from you. It's making me feel like I'm talking to myself. All right. Okay. So that's the zone. You don't want to get yourself into that zone. So what's the way out? How to do? What to do? Wa alaikum salam, Sister Shukra. Wa alaikum salam, everyone. Welcome. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you for letting me know we are together. So what do? You give children choices. Note, when we say give children choices, we are not saying, okay, let me just say what we are saying. What we are saying is that either ways, it's fine by you. Anyone that the child does is fine by you. You don't give children options that you would regret. For example, he's either you, let me see, is either what options do we give? We normally give some options that one of them is not favorable to us. You see, when we are talking about giving options here, you either want either any of the option that the child choose would be beneficial, and you would be contented and satisfied. Like the in both cases, they end up listening to you. So an example would be like um for this one is for grown up, for example, is either you do the ditch like the ditch, or you wait, I'm coming. He's not coming, subhanallah. All right, let me just thank you. Either you sweep the floor, excuse please. Either you sweep the floor or you sleep. You see that option is not like, how will you go and sleep? As at that time the child has to sweep the floor. You want to get the child to sweep the floor. So the option might be that you can sweep the floor using the broom, or you can like probably the traditional broom, you can sweep the floor using another type of broom. It's still sweeping, right? But you are giving them different options. But either ways, they are still sweeping. Another one might be, excuse please, I'm distracted here. A minute, please. All right, Afwan sisters, I had to go sort my PA's business. So I'm back, Afwan. Okay. So thank you. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome. So yes, I was talking about giving children options. You know, um there are some of them that this would really help you and save you the stress of getting into this zone where you feel powerless, where you feel you want to establish your authority, and this would cause you to struggle with your children and trying to make them feel they have to listen to you, you are their mother and all of that. Okay, so they might have two things they want to do. Probably they want to do the assignment and they have to sweep the floor. So you might just tell them, are you ready? Okay. Would you would you um would you sweep the floor first, or you do your assignment first? If the floor can wait, you understand. Which would you love to do first? And you let them choose the one they want to do first. Either ways, they are doing what they need to do, and they are still going to do the second one. The choice we give them is, I was distracted earlier, subhanallah. Okay, the choice we subhanallah. Hey, my PA is not letting this. I'm back, sisters. Yes, I love Selimni. All right, so as I was saying, the most option we do give is like, will you sweep the floor or you get out? Now I'm getting into the rhythm. You say you know this example. Bring them on now. We do say is either you sweep the floor or you get out of my sight. Aha, that's the language. It's either you do this or get out of my sight. Stuff like that. And the other one will not make you achieve anything. and the first one will actually make you achieve what you want. So if the child decides to go outside, you will feel powerless at that moment, and you will get more hungry, and you might even spank the child or yell at, "Want to get back here and sweep the floor?" You understand now. It's stuff that we go through day to day, right? So um what is to be done in this case? That option is not the type of option we are talking about. The option we are talking about is that two options that either ways the child is still doing what you want. You are happy regardless. Would you sweep the floor, or probably it's time for a meal? Will you take your lunch first, or you sweep the floor? Either ways, you are fine. Would you put the cloth in the laundry stuff first, or like that? For example, the older children, like older children now, it might just be like, get the laundry done. Is either you do it yourself or you get someone to do it for you. That's the problem. The point is, get the laundry done. You understand? So are you together? Are we together? So your own is that what you want should be done regardless of the sequence it is being done. I don't know if you get the gist. And for younger children, yeah, you don't want to give them option like someone should help you do it. No. You want to give them options that they will take responsibility themselves. So you might just, maybe there are two things they need to do. You might not force the sequence. Let them choose the sequence they want to. So if you present it to her, okay, Aisha, would you love to, not all children need this note, but there are some children that this is the best approach for you. Children that mostly they would they most time won't listen to you, probably immediately, easily, stuff like that. And instead of you getting into this zone where you would be, I said you should go and do that thing, you are what's that nonsense, and the whole thing goes ugly. You can just give them options. Which would you like to do first? Would you like to sweep the floor first, or would you like to take the plates to the ditches? Either ways, you are fine. The point is, everything should get done. Okay? Would you okay? So that's the point. That's the main point of what we are talking about. Give them choices. Don't get yourself into that zone where you feel powerless. When you get there, you will want to save your face. You would want to show that, oh, I'm the adult here. You would want to prove your position, your authority, and this will get you to, yell, and you would want to use any possible means for you to get your power back. You get the gist. So you don't want to fall into this zone. So if you think it will work for your child, you should apply it when needed, when necessary. You ask your child to pick up their toys and they are showing resistance from picking up the toys. You can give them options. Would you pack the toys now? Or if they are very young, or I pack it with you. Should we pack it together? So that process, you use it to teach the child how to take toys away. Okay? Would stuff like that. Either ways, you would be contented. Don't ever give choice that would make children not responsible, that will make children not, the lazy zone. Like, oftentimes, I don't know, in this part of the world is very common, or you get out of here. So when the child gets out, what is the child going to do out there? What will happen to the original task the child is meant to do? So oftentimes when this happens, we all want to they get back here and everything goes ugly. So that's the main point for today. When you find yourself in that situation, try to give choices. Don't allow yourself to get into the zone where you feel powerless. Which child, I don't understand your question, but I'm just saying that there are some children when you talk to them at once, or for some reasons they don't need options. If you are there, there are some rules that doesn't work for all children. So I'm saying, like a child that would not listen to you on time, or they will want to, they don't want to feel controlled. Aha, that's the language. Some children don't want to feel that you are controlling them. As soon as they sense that, they would want to, um, you know, kind of not want to follow the others. So you want to kind of make it like an option, like having options. However, both options have to be favorable to you. You don't give children options of exactly they resist. You don't want to give children options that will keep making them get spoiled. If you are telling them is either you do it or you leave it. When we are some people, I've had that before. Is either you do it or you leave it. If you know you can't do it, leave it and get out of there. Stuff like that. Why will the child leave it? They have to do it one way or the other. So it is um the way we kind of present it. So you can come by way of giving options. So a child that will naturally listen, you don't want to, why there's no necessity for, or there's no need for options. You understand? Maybe they have 2 hours on their, they would have 2 hours on their with their tab or whatever. If they have screen time, 2 hours in the weekend, for example, and they need to memorize their Quran. Okay, so the options can be memorize your Quran, and when you are done, you go through the what's it called, you have your cartoons, you understand, just two things that you can pair together, and it might not be even almost the same thing, there might be two different things, but either ways, in fact it might be the same thing. It might be the same thing. It might be that a task that they need to do, it can be done in two different ways. So let them have this feeling that they too they can choose. But either way, whatever it is that they choose, you understand, it is still favorable to you. Don't ever give children choices that would not what's it called? That would not that you would not be happy with. Yes. That would make them have their way. Aha. You don't want children to have their way like being irresponsible. The whole point is they have to be responsible. Aha. So you have to get them to be responsible. Which one they do first might be their choice. But for you, the goal is they have to get both done. Okay. So, like I said, that's just the main point for today. There is no much. There is no much thing. So if you have questions from previous episodes, I'll be with you in the next 10 minutes, inshallah. So you can ask your questions. Excuse me, please. And did you get the gist, please? Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Welcome. Did you understand what I mean by choices? Aha. You understand that there's this feeling when you feel powerless. I don't know, have you been there? Where you feel this child is not listening to me. That is why that is why you find most people say, are you stupid? Are you not the one I'm talking to? Are you understand? Don't get yourself to that zone. When you get there, it might be very difficult for you to not yell. You get it? So give them choices. Some cases too might be if you don't want the food, leave leave it. There are some children probably as at the time you are serving the meal or the meal you are serving, they would say they don't want it or something. So instead of saying is either you eat it or you have nothing, how will they know? They have to eat, and they have to eat that same thing that you have cooked. So it's either you eat it now or you eat it probably later. Either way, they have to eat it. So it's their choice. And probably for that day, if you have something to offer, probably what you've made, it is easy for them to have two different meals. Like there are some times when you might cook rice separately and beans separately, not because of the child, but that's just the way you have cooked it that day. Probably the child might have choice of would you want rice or beans. Either ways, any of them you are fine. It's not like you are going back to the kitchen to make a special meal for anyone. Because you don't want to raise children that will be dictating to you that no, I don't want rice, it's beans that I want. That is very dangerous. Okay, please ma, does it mean that we should eliminate beating in whatever form as a means of discipline? It depends on the age. It depends on the age. Or if you beat a 1 year old like we do, does the 1 year old understand the beating? And beating is not discipline, it is punishment. Wa alaikum salam wa barakatuh. We need to understand the difference between punishment and discipline. Ah, you say beating a 1 year old is cheating. Some people beat babies that are less than a year. Hey, I've seen it several times. Hey, hey, yeah, you're even saying why he's cheating. Hey, you're nice. Less than a year, 10 months. You will see, say that don't let me misspeak your words. Not know anything. Don't mind me, Jerry. I just couldn't hold that. Yes, people beat children less than a year very well. All right, what happened to your voice? Nothing much. I'm not just very energetic today, but I'm trying to be. All right, so um, discipline is how will I put it? All right, discipline is a way that you want a child to but can you hear me clearly? All right, alhamdulillah. I mean. All right, I'm actually fine. It's just, human. The energy is not always on the same level every day. All right, so as I was saying, discipline is to get a child to listen. I said to listen. It is Eh, I'm coming. Please let me stop. Let me explain this discipline and punishment. Wala is very important. We used to mix it up. When you punish a child, that doesn't mean the child understands why you are what you are trying to correct them. In fact, it will change to where they would be. It's another. They would forget the fact that you are trying to correct them, like you are trying to um how will I put it? You know, in your mind, you want them to understand. Excuse me, please. You people are distracting me. Okay, you know your points why you want to punish them is because you want to learn the lesson. You want them to learn the lesson. But in reality, discipline don't let allow it doesn't make I said discipline. Punishment doesn't allow children to learn from their mistakes. They don't learn from their mistakes. As a matter of fact, they feel like you are being mean to them. They feel like you don't love them. And this starts to sever the relationship. I'm talking of younger children now. And when you beat, how did you beat? That's another point. Even what is the most important task that we have to do on earth is what? Is Salat. Because it's one of the first things they are going to ask of us in the grave. And there is an hadith that said that there is a hadith that said that when we are dead, we are in the grave. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us die on the best of our deeds and accept our return whenever it is, and preserve us upon goodness while we're on earth. All right. So when we get there, we are all going to be there, right? Yes. One of the first things they are going to check is your salat. Salat is as important as that. And if your salat is missing, in fact, it is it's as though everything is missing. Okay, so now the command is that until a child is how old before you start beating. So that's to tell you that beating is not the first thing, it's not the thing that should come first. You would have teach the child discipline, guide them towards that thing that you are saying, that you are teaching. Be role model. So many duty jobs there for us to do. Then may Allah not give us children that would frustrate us and be stubborn. Amen. So when the child gets to a certain age and those things that they need to do naturally they are not doing, as a matter of fact, beating might not be the solution, but let's assume you want to beat. There are ways to go about it, and there will be reasons for you to beat. You can't beat children and you think they are going to learn from their mistakes. You have been beaten before, right? Let's assume. Did you feel remorseful for what you were beaten for? Or you were in one corner and saying, maybe they beat you because you beat one of your siblings that you were fighting. You will be in one corner and be saying, if I catch Khadija again, when her mommy and her daddy they are not there, I'll finish her. You will not learn that lesson. Your heart will be harder. Oh God. I don't know if you are getting the gist. Your mind, there's this children have this one mind. We were all once children. Probably we should go back and reflect. If you have been beaten before, was there something that they beat you for and you did not do that thing again? Once they have beat you like this, you did not repeat it. And you learned you learned your lessons. Actually, children have this sense of justice. The moment you start beating, especially when this child is even a tough child, you know, there are some children that are tough, the child becomes tougher. Beating doesn't soften a child though. The more you beat, the harder they become. I hope you have also observed it. When we say discipline, discipline, I feel like how Agba. That got me laughing actually. Discipline is a way to actually rehabilitate a child, if that word is correct. Is a way to make children responsible for their actions. There are so many ways to discipline a child. There are so many parenting tools, principles to discipline a child. You don't need to beat before you get children to listen. And not beating a child doesn't mean that children will be spoiled brats like most people think. You are kind and you are firm. I used to emphasize the word firm. It doesn't mean children will have their way. No, that's what we are talking about today. Now, I said give children choices. And both choices, they still do what you want. You are firm on what you want, whether you like it, yes or no. You are going to eat and wash plates. How you do it is your choice. Do you get the gist? Instead of hammering on either you wash the plate now or you just, it's when you beat that she will be calm. That's not true. It's only giving you a temporary result. The child calm because of that cane. Your rod is what is scaring the child. You don't understand. Is the child sorry, is the fear of that you are going to, if you are not there, the child will do another thing, or after the fear of the cane has gone and you are killing so many things in the child. Beating, yelling, they are the most lazy parenting tools you can ever use, and the long term effect is dangerous. But the short term effect is that yes, definitely, it keeps them in check at that moment, especially beating. The fear of cane, yes. But that doesn't mean it's working. And let me shock you. In fact, it's something that you must have seen. When the children get used to that cane, you know, when they get used to it, it is nothing. In fact, they will say that is it more than cane? Ah, okay. Hmm. They will even say it among themselves. We all do. Is it not more than cane? Shebi it's for mommy. Shebi if I do it now, is it just cane that they will beat me? Is a lazy result to just, you just cane and listen. No, 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 don't do that. It's just a short term. You will see the short term results. The fear of the, just like how am I going to, in fact, you should understand better anyway, because it's the fact that we live it with and we see every day around us. Hmm. Mm. Who went to this local magaranta that time? Those madrasas, those local madrasas. Do you see how they used to beat? Does that mean you will memorize the Quran the next day? Do you remember that beating immediately, that Quran will stick one, two. Ha! You will remember it kia when the stars ask you to recite. Few minutes later, what happened? Back to square zero. The fact is, and the funny thing is, All these things that we are doing, they are also learning. You get angry easily, they also get angry easily. The way we discipline them, the way they think is right, the way we react to their problem, to their issues, the way they also react back to us, they are new in this world. That's why we are saying you should understand your own emotions. You should know, even you should know how to express, how to teach, role model some major thing to your children. One of it is dealing with your emotions. So at the point where your child is seeing you that when I do something that gets mommy angry, this is the way mommy reacts, mommy gets naturally without thinking. That's the way your child will behave. You see them beating, you see them yelling, you see them and all of that. He said the beginning of temporary compulsion. That's true. So beating is not actually a tool that works. There is a point where you will beat and there are ways when how you will beat. Okay, let's imagine a child you've never beat, like for a while. You've been The day you bring out that cane, for example, let's assume you want to finally use it, and you do it in a way, I don't know, you understand, how do you think the child will feel? They also will know that, i have actually I have actually crossed the line. You understand? And it's not just beating that you beat like you are beating, I don't know. Go and look at the description of beating the Prophet Sallam have described. We don't we punish children to feel the pain of what they have done. But that's not the point of discipline. The point of discipline is for a child to learn from their mistakes, and next time they should be able to make better choices themselves. Aha, that is discipline. Say, no, when I did this, it was bad. This is not the right thing to do. This is the right thing to do. Aha. When you are not there, the children, bye bye, bye bye. Sorry, bye bye. When you are not there, the children will uphold your principles. So for your child, hello. Hey, today is today. Oh, my people are coming. All right, Afro Queens. Subhanallah. All right, so my advice to you is that the first thing I'll ask is, I'm talking to Malima. How old is the child? It's with your sister. Go and meet her. How old is the child? Then we go from there, inshallah. Because the child might just need your help to guide her on how to express herself, how to understand her emotions, how to behave herself, and all of that. So you might just need to be a good role model to model it, you understand? To model how she should respond, behave when she's angry, how to express herself. We should teach children how to express themselves, feelings, just the way we are teaching them A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, Alif, Bata, Sa, and all of that. And you must not teach them one thing and you two are doing another thing. You have to be consistent as much as you can. And when you make mistakes too, just like we say, no yell. That doesn't mean you will never yell again. If you are conscious enough, barakallah fi, you might find it it might be really hard for you to find yourself in that zone of yelling. But let's assume you make a mistake. Like we have said, consciousness is the goal. So now you find yourself making mistakes. And of course, we will make mistakes. And the type of role model we want to be to our children is to teach them, okay, I made a mistake, but how do I get up from there? They would learn. When you make a mistake, you yell, you just finish yelling. How did you come back to yourself? How did you model it? How did you control your temper? How were you able to get back up and move on from there? All these, your children will also pick it from you. Okay? So, for younger children, beating is not actually the thing. The first thing is to teach them and guide them. You can see, we teach them for 7 years. How old is the child? Do you people go out a lot, or the child is mostly inside? Does the child have opportunity to mix with people, or she's with you people alone? So many things are contributing factors to children's socialization. And nature is there, age is there. They will outgrow it at some point. And some children by nature, they are like that, and all of that. So she's still small. How is her interaction with others? Does she have a very good does she go out a lot, or she's mostly with you? It also matters. Please, what could be wrong with someone who is very calm, gentle, and hardly reacts to anyone? You see Umalima, see Umalima, everybody see oh. Yeah. See oh, I will not say anything again. Okay, I will not say anything again. Let me just continue what I'm reading. Okay, please, what could be wrong with someone who is very calm, gentle, and hardly reacts to anyone? Me, I want triplet too. Okay, yeah. Better twins now, their upbringing is kind of challenging. In this stage, they are very active. When you're stubborn from grade to touch one thing, the other one is touch. I used to caution them, but the other said they're hungry, which I think when he be their only 16 month, I don't know how to handle it because okay. Well, in this case, I think there will be external factor. We all have triggers. Something must be triggering. Is that English correct? Something must have been a trigger. You understand? Stress, some other life issues. When life happens, when things are not seeming right, so many things can actually cause um trigger for someone. So if that's not the way of the person, then you can talk to the person so that they will be aware. When they are aware, they would kind of look at what causes them to yell, what are the surrounding factor. The children behaviors are just one of the thing, you understand. It's actually not it. It is just, maybe for example, you are not okay, normal, and now there's another external thing that is now disturbing. I don't know how to explain better. The fact is that you will react in a way that is not your normal self. Aha. So there's an underlying problem that needs to be detected and solved. Till then, it might be difficult to solve. And of course, it is normal. Just one person with one toddler Just one single toddler. Hey, we know how it is. Now you are having double, double honors. May Allah reward your efforts. Barakallah. Ah, so it is normal. It is now toddler raised to power 2. Ah, it's not been so. May Allah reward your efforts. So you might have to communicate with him, and there will be other factor actually. There will be other factor that needs to be detected that he himself might not be aware of. Okay? May Allah is our face. I mean, so you might need to talk to him heart to heart, you understand, detect, and all of that. There is something. In fact, you are a gem. You have twins, and you are not getting, you are not getting triggered and all of that. You see, Allah does not burden his soul more than it can bear. Mashallah. Barakallah fi. All right, sisters. I think we're going to drop. But did you get the gist of today's session? And so your assignment, your task today might be go back and sit back and look at those things that, because I used to say it and I'm saying it again, if you don't want to fall into the zone where you would find yourself yelling, you have to pre-plan. So when situation arise, you don't get surprised. When you are surprised, you are most likely to react in a way that you wouldn't love. Okay, so when you end this call or you are listening to this later, you can just pause it. When you end this call, sit back, relax, think. What are those things that you get hard for your children to do, that you get wa alaikum salam Abdul Jafar. Abdul Gafar, sorry. Yes, so what are those things that get you to get into that powerless zone with your child? Pre-plan it, preempt it, pre-think it, that okay, when it happens, this and these are the choices. So when it happens, finally, you will not start racking your brain, and the quick escape is to either yell or to spank. So Alima needs to learn how to mix with others, so she should go outdoors more, play more outside, and all of that. May Allah is our affairs. All right. Barakallah for you, sisters. And I would love to hear from you. And tomorrow is what? Subhanallah. Like when I was seeing day 6, I was like, Subhanallah. Hey, ya salam. Time flies. Time flies, wallahi. Just we are launching is day 1, and na, just like yesterday is the what? And it's been an amazing journey, wallahi. Alhamdulillah. Barakallahu fikum. And for those that have been here, I sight you, I see you, Sister Gonia, and all of that, Sister Habiba, Sister Bida, Sister Zinat, and um everyone. Like I can, but there's someone I'm trying to cite since, but I guess probably she's in alcohol because today is Friday. We have lots of alcohols. Well, I appreciate you. Thank you for showing up for yourself. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept it as an act of ibadah and bless your effort. Okay? You want to be better parents. That's why you are here. May Allah make the children the coolness of our eyes altogether and perfect our concerns. Okay? Well done, sister. Ah, well done. Hey, yeah, tomorrow is the last day, like seriously. However, I wouldn't want you to after the 7 days, because wallahi, my DM on WhatsApp has been massive. I can't share all the screenshots with you. And you asked what happened. Earlier today, my WhatsApp crashed. Like, I ought to have moved my WhatsApp to another device actually, but because of my automations and all of that, I've been procrastinating. And today the whole thing just crashed, so I had to forcefully, and whether or not I like it, move it back to so the stress and all of that has been kind of tiring since morning. The stress I've not wanted to go through. So I'm going through it in a in a way that I have to, I just have to go through it. I don't have choice. So it kind of gets to me somehow. All right, so alhamdulillah. All right, so back to us here. Um I don't want us to leave here after day 7 and go back to square one. So inshallah, I told you something big is coming, and I'm serious. You don't want to miss it actually, because you would not expect it. It is something very amazing, mouth watering. Don't worry, I'll unveil it to you. Maybe tomorrow, maybe not. I don't know, because this this phone is even getting me. Setting up automations. I can't be answering messages manually. I will use all my lifetime responding to message. Yeah, oh. So trying to set